Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and the WRC 2021 season is underway in Monte Carlo. In fact, it was about a week ago. But let's take a look at the best driver from every country in Europe. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and with that, sit back, relax, and let's begin.
Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
Albania, no one. A really good start, but unsurprisingly there have been no WRC drivers from Albania. Moving on. Andorra, Albert Levera. There's been a few drivers from Andorra, which is surprising for a country with a population of 5 people and a Labrador. Albert Levera is the pick of the bunch. He made his debut in the 2001 Junior World Rally Championship in Spain, didn't finish in his Fiat Punto, and his best finish is 17th in Spain in 2010, again in a Fiat. Still room for improvement from Andorra. Armenia, no one. I can see that the A countries are going to play hardball. Austria, Manfred Stoll. Toto Wolff actually finished 32nd in Germany in 2005. Rallying probably wasn't his strong point. As for the best, well, Franz Wittmann Sr. is the only other Austrian to win a round of the WRC in Portugal in 1987 in a Lancia Delta, but Manfred Stoll had the better career. He had a couple of points finishes in the 90s with Audi before years of nothing, but hit his peak in 2005 with OMV Citroën. He'd get 6 podiums through 2005 and 2006, which was a bumpy year with a 4th place finish in the championship. Azerbaijan, no one. Some countries do have drivers, honest. Belgium, Thierry Newville. Francois Duval is the only other Belgian driver to win a World Rally, but Thierry Newville has been by far their best ever driver. 14 wins and 5 second place finishes in the championship. Joining the Hyundai team really brought Thierry into the big time, and hopefully one day he will eventually win the World Rally Championship. Bosnia and Herzegovina, no one. Let's just move on. Bulgaria, Todor Slavov. Not a lot to choose from Bulgaria, but Todor Slavov is the best of the bunch. He may only have had 5 entries in 2010 in a Renault Clio in the junior division, and he didn't even win any rounds of that, but he did get a best 14th in Spain. Croatia, Juraj Sebalj. The only Croatian to enter a WRC event, and even then only 3 times. He had finished 22nd in Monte Carlo in 2003 in a Renault Clio, retire from the Rally of Turkey, before having another go in Monte Carlo in 2006 in Subaru and finishing 28th. Probably the only best of list Juraj Sebalj would make it on, but at least he did it. Cyprus, Panikos Polikarpou. Again, the only Cypriot to race in the WRC is Panikos Polikarpou, and in his 2 rounds he managed a best 41st in a Citroën in Portugal in 2014. Czech Republic, Martin Prokop. Apart from Roman Cresta nearly dying in Monte Carlo, and some good drives from Jan Kopecky, the standout Czech Republican is Martin Prokop. He scored regular points between 2012 and 2016, never got on the podium but has a few 4th place finishes. Shame a manufacturer never took a chance on Prokop, but he did well on the 2021 Dakar Rally, and he can always make a comeback. He's technically still active, finishing 15th in Italy in 2020. Denmark, Christian Paulson. You'd think all the Scandinavian countries would have loads of drivers to choose from, but Denmark is the odd man out. Only 3 drivers and 7 WRC events between them. Christian Paulson is more famous at Le Mans and in touring cars, but in his 5 appearances has a best 15th in Germany in a Toyota in 2006. Estonia, Ott Tänak. An easy one. Ott Tänak is the only Estonian to be champion and ended the long run of Sebastian's winning the WRC title. He's also won 12 rallies, and that's a number that's only going to get bigger. Other than Tänak, there is also Marco Martin, who won 5 rallies for Ford in the mid-2000s, until the unfortunate death of co-driver Michael Parks led the shaken Marco to retire. Finland, Juha Kankkunen. Finland is a difficult country to choose the best driver from. Tommi Mäkinen took 4 titles for Mitsubishi. There's also the likes of Markus Gronholm, Ari Vatanen, Markku Alain, Hannu Mikkola, Timo Salonen, Mikko Hirvonen, Jari-Matti Latvala, and probably more, but the pick of the bunch for me is Juha Kankkunen. more for the length of time he found success over, first winning in a Toyota Celica in 1985 and his last for Subaru in 1999. He won his first championship in 1986 with Peugeot before retaining with Lancia in 1987. He took his third title with Lancia in 1991 before his fourth with Toyota in 1993. His last rally was in 2010, 31 years after his debut in a Ford Escort. One of the best ever. Count me as a massive Kankkunen fan. France, Sebastian Loeb. I feel bad for Sebastian Ogier. In any other sport, he would be the undisputed best ever after winning 47 rallies and 7 championships. But he will probably never overtake Sebastian Loeb. They even share the same name, but Loeb's 79 rally wins and 9 consecutive championships make him the best ever. There's also Didier Auriol and Michel Mouton, but no one gets above Loeb. Ever. Georgia, no one. No one from Georgia. Maybe one day. Germany, Walter Röhrl. There aren't many great German World Rally Championship drivers. Armin Schwarz did take 2 wins, but Walter Röhrl took 2 titles, winning for Opel, Fiat, Lancia and Audi. He took the 1980 championship in a Fiat 131 Abarth and 1982 in an Opel Ascona. He helped Lancia to the Constructors' title in 1983 and he was also a European and African rally champion. Greece, Jordan Sideridis. The 2017 WRC Trophy champion didn't have a lot to shout about but did manage a 9th place finish in Australia in 2017 and therefore scored points in WRC. He scored another point for M Sport Ford in 2018, also in Australia, and hasn't been seen in WRC since. He may have a few more appearances in him. Hungary, Frigyes Turan. Only 3 Hungarians to choose from and Rajmund Fulop didn't finish his only attempt in 2003. Lukács Cornell made 7 appearances with a best 28th in 2014, but by far the best was Frigyes Turan, who managed an 8th place finish in Bulgaria in 2010 with Synergen Turan Motorsport in a Peugeot 307. Iceland, no one. I am genuinely surprised there has never been a WRC driver from Iceland. Your country is mostly volcano. You'd think they'd try rallying on it. Italy, Micke Byasian. Sandro Minari was the first ever Rally's Drivers' Champion in a Lancia Stratos in 1977. He also took 7 rally wins and deserves a mention, but Micke Byasian was a star for Lancia as we headed into the 90s. After making his debut in an Opel Ascona in 1980, Micke Byasian would join the Jolly Club Lancia team in 1983, driving a Lancia 037 and getting his first podiums. He'd take his first win for the Martini Lancia team in a Delta S4 in Argentina in 1986, and his first championship in a Delta Integrale in 1988. He'd retain in 1989 before joining Ford for his last few years, winning in Greece in 1993 in a Ford Escort, before retiring after the 1994 season. Kazakhstan, Armand Smalov. Just one Kazakhstani driver in the World Rally Championship history, and no, it's not Borat. Armand Smalov finished 50th in Finland in 2010, but returned in 2013 to much better results. In a Subaru, he managed a few top 20 finishes, whilst competing in the WRC2 class. His best result was a 13th in Australia, 4th in class, but he never returned after 2013, and no Kazakh driver has followed his lead. Latvia, Ivars Khan. For Latvia, we have a choice of 2. Do we go with Ralf Semakis, with a single 46th place in a Ford Fiesta back in 2014, or do we go for Ivars Khan? Well, Ivars didn't do much better than 46th, but he did enter more than one WRC event. Debuting in a Lada Vaz 2105 VFTS back in 1987, his best result was a 30th in Sweden in a Subaru Impreza, and Latvia leaves a lot to be desired. Liechtenstein, no one. There are more companies than people here, so I'm not really surprised. Lithuania, Eugenijus Tumalavicius. Another driver who made his debut in a Lada back in 1985 in Finland. 2 years later, he would share a team with Latvian Ivars Khan. Small world. The 16th place would be the best result for Tumalavicius, who would enter a few more rallies in a Lada before switching to a few rallies in a Lancia. Luxembourg, Gilles Chamel. No one else has more than 5 rallies for Luxembourg except for Gilles Chamel, who amassed a massive 19 appearances in WRC events. His best was a 14th at the Jordan Rally in 2014, driving a Renault Clio in the junior class. He also had a go in a Citroën C2, Ford Fiesta and a Mitsubishi Lancer. Malta, no one. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Moldova, no one. Slightly more surprised. Again, the landscape would suit rallying, but oh well. Monaco, Auguste Turiani. The little Principality of Monaco has a few drivers to choose from. Sebastian Loeb's longtime co-driver, Daniel Elena, took part in one rally as a driver in 1998, a year before he joined up with Loeb and won everything. And then there is Marc Desi, who has mostly participated in the Monte Carlo rally, first in 1979 in a Fiat 124, and most recently in 2021. Now that's a long career, but the best is Auguste Turiani. He scored points for a best fifth in Portugal in 1986 in an Opel, and he kept going until 2006, with his final rally being the Monte Carlo rally. He finished 29th in a Mitsubishi Lancer at his home rally. Montenegro, no one. Quite a new country really, so give them time. Netherlands, Dennis Kuipers. Much like in Formula 1, there aren't many top Dutch drivers to talk about. There's rallycross driver Kevin Erbring, who scored points with Hyundai in 2016, but the best is Dennis Kuipers, who had a smattering of points finishes in 2011 with a best fifth in France. He had a few other points finishes after this, but his 21 points and 12th place overall is the best a Dutch driver has ever done in the World Rally Championship. North Macedonia, no one. More countries have no rally drivers than I thought. Norway, Petter Solberg. The 2003 champion Petter Solberg is the best Norway has to offer. Andreas Mikkelsen has a few wins in a Volkswagen Polo, and Mads Ostberg has a single win in an Adapter Ford in 2012, but Petter Solberg has 13 wins, a championship, and he has been runner-up in the championship 3 times. He's also a rallycross champion, and his son is now competing in the WRC too. Poland, Robert Kubica. I'm as surprised as anyone to see Robert Kubica on this list, considering how his rallying career ended up, and almost ended him. But he has more points than anyone else from Poland, and Poland has a fair few rally drivers. The next best was Michał Kozicko, who scored a few points finishes with the Lotos team, but Kubica scored a best fifth in Germany in 2013, as well as points for his own 4 team. He did okay, better than Kimi Räikkönen anyway. Portugal, Joaquim Moutinho. Joaquim Moutinho is the only Portuguese driver to win a WRC event. The Rally Portugal in 1986, driving a Renault 5. He had a few other points finishes in a generally unremarkable career. The next best was Armindo Araujo, who scored a few points, most notably in a Mini, but Moutinho was the best Portugal has to offer. Republic of Ireland, Craig Breen. Eamon Boland and Craig Breen have both participated in 66 WRC events, but Craig Breen has had a more high-profile career. Whilst Eamon Boland has a single top 10 finish with a 9th place in Ireland in 2009, Craig Breen has been a regular point scorer in the WRC for a while. He has 3 podiums, but has never done better than 9th in the championship, which he did in 2020, after only 2 appearances. And he is known for making mistakes, but he is far better than any other Irish driver. Romania, no one. I don't know what to say at this point. Russia, Evgeny Novikov. Not a whole lot from Russia to choose from, but by far the best is Novikov. I really think he deserved more of a chance in the WRC, especially as his last season was pretty good. He debuted in 2007 but got his best results with Ford in 2012, getting a pair of second place finishes and finishing 6th overall. He returned with Ford in 2013 and scored points at every round bar 3 and again finished 7th overall, but was not retained by Ford or picked up by anyone else, which is a huge shame. He even had a 40-second lead at the 2013 Greek Rally, but a puncture ruined his chances of victory. San Marino, Massimo Ercolani. A driver who is sadly not with us anymore. He passed away in 2009, but he had a long WRC career. He debuted in 1979 in a Volkswagen Golf and even competed in a Ferrari at the San Remo Rally in 1985. He scored points in an Opel in 1984 and had his last WRC rally in 1997 at the Rally San Remo in a Subaru. Serbia, Milos Konjonovic. Only one Serbian, and Milos Konjonovic doesn't have any really good results in a WRC event. He only entered Renault Clios in the junior category in 2007 and 2008. His best result was a 29th overall at the 2008 Jordan Rally. As I said, no other Serb has taken part, so Milos Konjonovic is the best I can do. Slovakia, Jaroslav Melikarik. The best Slovakian is Jaroslav Melikarik. He managed a points finish for the Slovakia World Rally team in a Ford at Monte Carlo in 2008. He has a few top 20 finishes, but nothing great. Slovenia, Rok Turk. One Slovenian with 1 World Rally start. Rok Turk had a go in Monte Carlo in a Peugeot in 2006 and didn't finish due to a faulty gearbox. Spain, Carlos Sainz. Who else would it be? To be fair, there's a few good Spaniards. Xavier Pons scored regular points and finished 7th overall in 2006, but he never got on the podium. There was a win in France in 2001 for Jesus Perras, and Danny Sordo has taken 3 wins. But no one compares to Carlos Sainz. His 26 wins was the most until Sebastian Loeb took over, and he has 2 World Championships for Toyota, as well as 11 top 3 finishes in the championship, alongside his 4 Dakar Rally wins, and he is still going at 59 years old, and his son is in Formula 1. The Sainz family have served Spain proud. Sweden, Bjorn Waldegard. There are a lot of very talented Swedes who have competed in WRC, but only 2 have ever been champion. Stig Blomqvist won in 1984 in an Audi, but Bjorn Waldegard is my choice. He won the 1979 championship, mostly for Ford, but a couple of appearances in a Mercedes. He took his final win in a Toyota in 1990, while Stig didn't win after his 1984 championship success, despite competing as late as 2006. Kenneth Eriksson took a few wins, and Ove Anderson would have been Drivers' Champion in 1971 had there been a Drivers' Championship. He won 4 of the 8 rounds. Switzerland, Olivier Bury. There are a fair amount of Swiss drivers to choose from, but none have been successful. Olivier Bury has competed almost solely at the Monte Carlo Rally. Out of 19 rallies entered, 18 are in Monaco between 1991 and 2019, with a best 7th in 1993 in a Ford Escort. Turkey, Volkan Izik. It's not female driver Bertu Setinkaya. She never finished higher than 12th, and Fatih Kara and Murat Bostanci didn't break the top 20, but the best was Volkan Izik, who managed a 6th place in China in a Toyota in 1999, which wasn't the only points finish that year. He finished 7th in Portugal. He'd only have 5 rallies after 1999, and he didn't do great, but he's the best Turk rally driver of all time. Ukraine, Yuri Protasov. Of the very few Ukrainians to compete in WRC, Yuri Protasov is the only one to score points. His best was a 7th place in the self-entered Ford in Italy in 2015, but he had a few other points finishes too. He was also runner-up in the WRC2 category in the same year, taking 3 WRC2 wins in his career. United Kingdom, Colin Mcrae. It's really between Richard Burns and Colin Mcrae. Richard Burns was a great driver. 10 wins and the 2001 championship is not too shabby, but Colin Mcrae not only has the more impressive stats, to many of us he was rallying. Myself, like many others, were introduced to the sport through the Colin Mcrae rally games, not to mention his exciting style that either meant he won or smashed his car into smithereens. 25 wins and the 1995 championship is definitely better than brother Alistair, who never got on the podium. Elflyn Evans is another who is flying the flag for Britain, and there is still time for him to win the championship and overtake Mcrae, but even if he does, I don't think he'll leave the impact Colin Mcrae did on so many gamers. Both Mcrae and Burns died far too early, but they will always be remembered. Vatican City, the Pope. I'm just kidding. So that is my list of the best rally drivers from every country in Europe, and oh boy, what a list. Do you agree? Or do you have any other particular favourite who should go in the list? Did I miss anyone? Is there a secret Albanian rally driver I missed off the list? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment, like and share. Enjoy your rallying and have a good one.